best grooming cutters for you, just so natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help be a swagger, style, class, and luxury. Makeup products tailor-made for you with high quality, yeah. So get in style with the black, yeah. Company, you swagger, style, class, and luxury, yeah. Black, gentleman, black, yeah. Company, you swagger, style, class, and luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com. Yo. What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to the Friday night chop session with Stormybman for this Friday, October 25th, 2024. This is number 163 in the series of chop sessions. As we head toward the end of the year, the fourth quarter of the year, we still got big bouts on the horizon. We're calling this one the Catterall versus Prograis, a junior welter showdown in the UK. This is an opportunity to talk up this fight that's taking place tomorrow. Stateside, it'll be considered afternoon because it's in the UK. Different time scales, timetable, but I still think it's going to be a fight worth tuning in to check out. And we'll talk about that a little bit this evening, as well as touch on a few subjects. A little bit of boxing news, fights that are on the horizon. We're going to see the return very soon of Jerron Boots Ennis early in November. There's a big cruiserweight bout taking place where Chris Billum Smith and Zerto is going to face one another. That's a big fight. We're hearing rumors of some other things going on in the sport, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But all in all, boxing is moving in a certain direction, regardless of those who don't want to buckle up for the ride. And you know what happens nowadays when you don't wear your seatbelt, huh? Yeah. So we're going to experience some enlightenment. We're going to experience some rejection, resentment. And the wheel of the world of boxing will continue to spin and turn. One thing that I like is it's almost every weekend now that we can look forward to something transpiring. We're seeing so much movement in the sport. I like that. You know, there was a time when we were having to wait weeks in between bouts, and now they're seemingly happening. If it's not every weekend, it's almost like every other week, which is great. You know, so just know that this is an opportunity for us to rejoice in this, because there was a time when we weren't getting as much boxing as we're receiving right now. I'm looking on my monitor in the background here on DAZN. They got a live card going on, and these guys on this card, they're like, you know, mid-level guys. These are not household names by any means, but the fact that it's on now, it's like you could watch some boxing. And for those of you who want to brush up on the skill set and paying attention to fights, you're going to see, just even watching guys like this, there are elements of the sport that are just totally repetitive, because there is a limit that what can take place in these matches. So even watching fights like this, I remember back in the late 80s and early 90s, this was the equivalent of what we would see like on Telemundo and things like that, little odd-end channels, on a Friday or Saturday evening. It was a great opportunity to get in, witnessing some fisticuffs. And I enjoyed it every bit then as I do now. So I look forward to that. Big time. So we're going to take a moment out and have a acknowledgement of a roll call. Who we got in the building this evening. And don't forget, I didn't put it in the chat again, but we are trying to head up a subscription drive for the channel where we would like to try to hit the peak of 8,000 before the end of the year. It's slow motion on that, but who knows, with the proper type of support and people sharing the content, and for those who want to really be in my corner, so to speak, you can help and assist that happening. It's not a lot to ask. We're just nearly at 6,000 right now, so we're talking about 2,000 subs before the end of the year. Come on, let's make this happen, people. Let's make it happen. It's called the subscription drive. And when you can move the needle like that, what happens is the algorithms get tweaked, and there's certain type of consideration that takes place. You can receive the notifications more properly and everything, because the channel is being squeezed at the present moment. But that doesn't mean we have to slow down. We have to be full steam ahead. Damn the torpedoes. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're trying to do. The goal is 8,000 before the end of the year. And the end of the year is December 31st. And we're at October 25th. Come on, baby. Light my fire. Yeah! Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Also, presently, donations are being accepted by way of Cash App and PayPal to the station. If you are donating during the show, I will acknowledge your donations over the air. If you happen to do it when we're not live, I still will acknowledge your donations. The links are in the description box, and Shower is also assisting with putting them in the chat throughout the live stream. I appreciate that, Shower. And we're just working as a well-oiled machine around these parts, trying to get out what I've always considered the most quality of content. There will be some more giveaways. I didn't get a chance to get to that before the end of the year because of the plight that YouTube put upon my shoulders. But as we move forward, I will still be trying to have some giveaways. Also, sign up for my Patreon, because Stormybman is going to be putting content and uploading content to Patreon. Those who had been members to my channel here, I encourage you to try to become a member for my Patreon, where we can enjoy the content in an uncensored manner. Also, there will be fresh opportunities to see new fare over there. There is a tremendous adjustment where I'm sharing a lot of what we've done here over there, but also what I'm trying to do is make it where it can be exclusive access to those who truly support me, and know that nobody is taking a cut, so to speak, when you do that. So it's your call, but know that I'm trying to make options available that are viable for all of us. Shaquilla Fields is out there in the chat. Greetings. Universal Truth is back with us. Frank from the land is back. Showers out there as well. Tay-Tay, the real queen of MMA and combat talk, is in the building. And Drew Titan, my brother, is out there. LLC is in the building. Champion Heart has come back this evening with us. What's going on with you, Champion Heart? And let's see who else we got. Everybody else is greeting one another, and Shower is reminding us with those links. Thank you so much for that assistance there. You know, over the past 24 to 48 hours, news has come down the pipeline that the upcoming fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach may be canceled, if not rescheduled. And that's something that people have been talking about. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But there's something else that we should talk about as well. And once again, I want to give an acknowledgement to His Excellency Prince Turki Al-Rashid for what he has done with the sport of boxing, because my goodness, had there been a personality in the sport that has come on the scene and shaken things up like this man has done. But he's done it in a positive way. And even I, early on, was a little apprehensive, because it's just that I've known how people have gotten involved in the sport of boxing, seemingly well-to-do and well-intended, but it just didn't last for whatever reason. But I think what's different with this guy is the fact that economically nobody can match him. That's the thing. So the usual players and high stake rollers in the sport of boxing, they can't squeeze him. They can't influence him. They can't, elbow him and shove him to the side or whatever. Because not only does he have the economic means to be able to take care of promotions, he has the venue. He has the sites. He has built sites and venues to hold events, and now has also reached into the entertainment field to bring entertainers in on this. His quality advertisements of major fight cards have been second to none. This man has really been doing some things, people. And for those of you who haven't really committed to checking out what he's done, his last couple of cards where he has made an adjustment on the cost and pricing of pay-per-view, this is like an amazing epiphany. You know how costly pay-per-views have become. Pay-per-views were going upwards of $100 for a stinking card. And I say stinking because you might get a named fighter on a card, but the matchups were trash. The fighter that was the named fighter was not challenged. And the usual suspects, judges, referees, and promoters, still doing their little black magic on the sport. Well, guess what? They can't do all that in the turkey show. They can't. And even though he has gone on now and done cards since last year to now for a little bit, you could say a little bit over a year now, he's been doing this. They're starting to get slanderous against him. They're trying to say bad things about Turkey because they can't compete with his promotions. They can't compete with the cards and the matchups. They can't compete with the paydays. So some of these guys, the old stalwarts, are starting to soil their pants, so to speak. And they're starting to babble and cry. Instead of shaking things up and going the right way, the rebellion is happening that way. But again, at the end of the day, even starting lies and rumors, oh, he's not going to do any promotions in America anymore. That's the latest fib that has come down the pipeline. And he laughed about it and said, listen, if it doesn't come from my mouth, if it isn't a statement that I've made, he's like, disregard anything else. That's a stand-up individual, because he's not going to say anything unless it's worthy to be said. There are a lot of people that just don't understand how business works. There have been people in charge having the keys to the asylum for so long that those old ways, not only are they filthy, but they're worn, they're shop worn. And it's now time to adjust with the times. And we see people like Frank Warren, Bob Arum, Matchroom Boxing, Golden Boy. Those companies and more, not just them, they have to adjust to the new time. The lying and playing games with people's money, like what Golden Boy has done, allegedly. The tampering with the opportunities to grow and to break out and really become someone without your promoter trying to hang it on your neck, even though it's your promoter's job to promote you, like Bob Arum in Top Rank. Those things are starting to fall by the wayside, because what Turkey is doing is he's taking it back to an old school way of your merit is what's going to sell you. How you perform in these matches, how you participate in the events, showing up for the fight promotions in the weeks leading up to your fight date, interacting with the press, enjoying the hospitality of the Prince of Saudi. All of that is putting these guys in a different sense of the business. And they're looking around and they're saying, you know what? This is great. I feel like I'm somebody. And you are, when you put your life on the line for other people's entertainment. You should be rewarded. You should be acclaimed. You should be acknowledged and upheld with status. Because I ain't doing it. You understand? And a lot of people aren't. But you guys who do it, you deserve to be treated like the warriors you are. But these greedy little promoters and what they have done, they've really made fighters. They got fighters that are so twisted nowadays. You got guys who are sitting in there respective divisions, and they won't fight each other. Oh, that's my friend. Or we're in the same gym. We came up through the amateurs together. That's my dog. You fool. You're sitting around and you're allowing complacency to take hold and root and stock in your careers when you can be the best of what the sport has to offer. And the sky really doesn't have a limit because people like what they like. But you have to get out there and test the waters. If you remain in the wading pool, you'll miss that ocean liner that's out there in the Pacific where people are partying and having a time. You see, this type of acknowledgement needs to be there because there are true die-hard supporters of the sport, and their frustrations have been felt and heard by the likes of His Excellency. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But the sport has never been perfect. But there was one time when the sport was the king of sports. Do you realize, people, that there was a time when boxing was like the number one sport? Not football, not the NBA, not baseball. And that a world champion, not a titleist, a champion, because there was a time when there was one belt for the 8 divisions. That's right, I said 8 divisions. Not the 16 or 20 that you can see nowadays. But when a world champion would walk into a venue, he garnered the respect of the house. People would stand up and salute or applaud and greet them, particularly the heavyweight champion of the world. Now you have no idea who the heavyweight champion of the world is. With so many belts and so much BS that's just spread like a heavy mayo on a sandwich. I hate the food analogy in that, but it's been spread so thick it's ridiculous. They will tell you that Alexander Usyk is right now the unified champion of the world. Daniel Dubois has one of the titles that prevents him from being undisputed, even though he just became undisputed back in May. Usyk did. However, other fighters like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua are getting notoriety and press and support as if they are the men. They are not. I'm going to flip the script on you right quick for a moment. The man is Daniel Dubois. Curious. How does that happen? Because this man, His Excellency, has had Daniel Dubois on 3 of his promoted cards. And I think the Turk has done 6 cards, if not 7. And in that time, Dubois has gone from a comebacking fighter to a contending fighter to a title eliminator winning champion to a defending champion in that time. And guess what? Along that path, they were always speaking about one other guy, Joshua. And we saw what he did to Joshua. But do you remember, before the fight with Joshua, they even had Joshua as the headliner in their match, even though he was the champ. Joshua was the A side. Remember this? Watch your mouth. I hit you across the face with this chair. Huh? Don't call me out. Don't disrespect me. Okay. Where was that tough show of action during their match? Nowhere to be found. Danny told him, you can't intimidate me. Who do you think you are? You know why? Because Danny talked like that. Danny was coming off of fights against Filip Hrgovic, Jared Anderson, and Alexander Usyk. And the Usyk fight was a fight he actually won with a body shot that they ruled a low blow in Poland. But he come right back from that and called out Hrgovic. Nobody was calling out Hrgovic. They were trying to pretend that Hrgovic didn't exist. Hrgovic had been waiting for a shot with the IBF for like 3 years. Yeah, another situation similar to Caleb. Not Caleb, but similar to Canelo. Hey guys, check this out. Rashidi Ellis is on this DAZN card tonight. Did not know that. He's facing a guy that I don't know who this is, but yeah, Rashidi is back. He's fighting tonight on this card on DAZN. You see, you just turn something on and you realize, oh, there's something going on here. And I had been wondering, where's Rashidi been? He must not be presently signed to a bigger promotion group, because this is a smaller promotion, but it's being broadcast on DAZN. And they're fighting in a ring that looks like it's about this ring looks like it's about a 12 by 10, actually. Wow. I don't like when fighters come out with those skirts on, man. Wear some boxing trunks, bro. Be professional and be traditional. Stop it with these doggone skirts, man. A skirt is for a woman. Or if you're an Irishman, you're wearing a kilt. But this is not what that is. And I mean, and these guys need to stop that foolishness. I'm very old school when it comes to that. Yeah, stop it. Anyway, I got off of what I was trying to express regarding how fighters were respected walking into venues, and Daniel Dubois has earned his respect. He needs another shot at the winner of Usyk and Fury so he can get his rite of passage toward being the heavyweight champion of the world completely. But I do believe that Fury loses the fight, Usyk will retire. If Fury wins the fight, then they're going to try to shoot for a fight with AJ, which is ridiculous because AJ just got, everything handed to him, you know. The big ballers, huh? The big Michis and the Jeff Ports and all of them, huh? He got shown the real light of that stuff. Yeah, Shower, did you see that? I put that in that video. And did you see that shot of El Rayo stooping down over him while Colbert was laying on those ropes in the background? Not a bad piece of editing, I do say so myself. Let me pop my collar on that one. Because, hey, listen, he deserved that, didn't he? He deserved it. He earned every bit of that footage, and I made sure it didn't go to waste. Yeah. And you saw the bottom of his shoes too, huh? Yeah. Looks like Rashidi is styling and profiling on this guy. Tailor-made for him. But yeah, Colbert, he deserved that. He deserved it, man. And you know, I was there to show the world and remind the world. That's why I said the video is titled, for him, it's a rap against Salcedo, huh? And they could have wrapped him in one of them body bags the way he looked like he was laying on that rope in the background behind Rayo. Yeah. Well, you know what, Shower, as long as he's in the ring, he's being active, I don't fault him for that, because a man has to make a living. But I'll say this, I'd rather see him fighting 3 or 4 of the guys like he's fighting tonight to stay active than to just jump in the ring for a payday against somebody that he's not, you know, he's not matched up for or whatever, you know. They keep stopping the action for whatever reason. I think the guy is trying to find a way to quit because Rashidi is far more talented to him. He's far more talented. But I don't like when guys are always looking to the refs, or, you know, the ref got to stop and take a look and talk and have a conversation with him. Man, he's there to fight, bro. He's there to fight. Rashidi don't need to clown, though. Be professional. Stop clowning around and showboating. Go in there, knock the guy out clean, and get ready for your next fight. That's what he needs to do. B-Mac, what's good with you? I see you out there. See, like those shots that he just hit this guy with, clean shots, that's what he needs to do. Focus. Dig to the body. Get him out of there by going to the body. Don't you see you can hit him to the head easily. Go to the body to set the head up. If you hit him to the body, the arms will get, you know, tired of guarding the chin. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, he needs to just focus on fighting, stop the showboating and everything. See, when you're fighting lower level guys, you got to make it all business. You can't go in there and be clowning around and stuff. You're supposed to fight them to show your talent and separation. Clowning around and showboating and all of that, what you do when you do those things, you just, you make them, you call more attention to them than necessary. Shaw says, "Wow, you were right, OG. They calling it." Yeah, listen, Shower. This is why I tell you guys, watch fights, watch them. You'll start to learn what's happening here. I told you that guy after the first and second round, he was like, they was looking at his glove. He was talking to the. I don't even have the audio on. I'm just looking at the monitor. And he realized, he's like, man, this guy's too good for me. I don't want to be embarrassed with him knocking me spark out. So he gave up. But at least Rashidi was in the ring, shaking it out. Now he can come back and have one more fight before the end of the year, if he's smart. But this is the kind of stuff that I talk about this. I'd rather he fight 2 or 3 of these guys before the end of the year, maybe 1 or 2 rather, because the year is almost out. Fight 1 or 2 more guys like this for the end of the year, go into next year and say, hey man, I want one of these other guys. You know what I mean? In the welterweight division. You can do that if you're active. You can't do that if you're sitting around not doing anything, just talking on social media, and tweeting. No. That's just like they say the Charlo brothers are coming back, right? Coming back to what? From what? If I don't care. They've been outside of the sport for well over a couple of years, both of them and everything. Listen, man, there are far too many other fighters that I can put my attention on who are really in the thick of things. I don't care about those guys. Those guys had their chances and all that. Listen, you made some money, good for you and your family. But you know what? This sport evolves. It keeps going. And there's always someone to supplant you and take over, and it'll be a new day. That's real. That's real. I try to talk about things, man. It's like I've said it so many times. You could go and look at my facing page on YouTube. Look at all the different fighters and fights that I talk about. And you don't see nobody else talking like that. I've been telling you about UK fighters coming out of Australia, guys that are over in Ireland. I've been talking about it. When the ladies are fighting, I'm telling you about them. Sinisa Estrada is getting ready to fight again. I got to do a video about her. But it's like, I talk about the sport of boxing. People can get mad at me and not like me and all of that stuff. That's a personal kick. But one thing you can't not say is I don't bring you the boxing news, which is just like on this chart behind my head here where it says boxing news. It's not boxing views. It's boxing news. It's just like I was on last night with Blue Blood. Shout out to Blue Blood for inviting me on his channel and in his space with he and Claymore. Man, we talked some great boxing last night. That's why I shared it to my community page, because we had an outstanding conversation. Outstanding conversation. That's right, Tay-Tay. And you keep doing what you're doing, sister, because you're good at it. And you talk about stuff that they're not talking about. Probably the only one who talk it like you, Tay-Tay, is probably Coach Sheldon Harris. That's probably that, you know. And I'm not even into MMA, so, but I'm aware of you all and the work that you do. You know what I mean? And I support you all. I support you big time. But yeah, speaking of Turk, right? His Excellency. You know, I was putting it out there about how he has revolutionized the sport to a degree. You know what I mean? It's like it's really tripped out because he's reached out to various fighters. Now, some fighters have responded to him positively. And then you got the likes of Tank Davis and Canelo, who seemingly are like, they're similar guys, and they're walking similar paths through the sport of boxing. If you can't see it, I'm not going to explain it to you. Just keep your eyes open. You'll see for yourself. But I was interested to see this week we got a photo op that is very revealing. And that's this here. When you guys take a look at your screen, this dude here, Monster Inoue, has met up with the Turk. He's met up with His Excellency. He's going to appear on one of His Excellency's cards soon. And you know what? That's great, because it's showing that he's truly trying to put on the best fights for boxing throughout the divisions. He's not focused on just the big dudes. He's not focused on the glamour divisions that are under heavyweight. He's focusing on fighters. But the only thing is, the fighters that he works with, they have to understand they're going to be put in battles that are 50-50 matches. No more than 60-40. And they are in a responsible position to hold their own and to prove their wares. And that's all we could ask for from the sport. That's all we can ask for. Yeah, Champion Heart, it's on my community page. I shared the link where I was on with Blue Blood and Claymore yesterday. Please go and check it out at your leisure. We had a great conversation. I came on. They had been on for about maybe 30 minutes. And then I came in roughly around that time. And we cooked to the rest of the show. But it was a great chance to talk some shop and boxing with these brothers. I really enjoyed that. And we're supposed to do it again next week. Maybe Tuesday, I think Blue Blood said. So we're going to work at that. We're going to try to give you guys the best that we can talking the sport of boxing. Yeah, Champion Heart, isn't that something how they do that kind of stuff? I keep telling you guys, this is like what they've done to me recently. Man, listen. I'm not begging anybody for anything. But if you are a true supporter, you're supposed to know when I put that information out, what they're doing, you're supposed to show that support if you're my supporter and be like, hey, what can I do, Sensei, to, and understand. We're creating other options and outlets. Patreon, Cash Apps, PayPal, and I'm looking into some other apps like Rumble and, see what the choices are out there. Because it's obvious that they have an acute bias toward our community. And it's our community. But it's not limited to our community. But they are heavily against us. They are watching at all times. Drew Titan has shared that information with you guys. They wait for you to say something, play something, or whatever, so they can immediately demonetize your video and stuff. Man, this is so much foolishness here. So much foolishness. They try to tell me about reused content. What content am I reusing? Seriously. Let's see here. Yes, it is, Shower. The highest form. The highest form. And it's also discrimination. Discrimination. Because the fare that I create, you know what? And listen, they were trying to go back into the archives of stuff I produced from several years ago, and they try to say the music wasn't right and this and that. It's like, that music was licensed through YouTube. What are you talking about? They keep doing that kind of stuff. But I'm not on here to rant about that this evening. I'm just speaking frankly of what it's been, but what you guys can do. Always, if you are subscribed to channels that you support on the regular, always make sure that you remain subscribed to them. Go in and check and see, because just like Champion Heart says, they will unsubscribe you. That's a form of, taking you down a peg or whatever. I've been in the 5,000s as far as my subscription for far too long. I should be at the 8,000 that I'm reminding you guys that I'm on the subscription drive toward, because that's how my work was, as I was monitoring my movement. Now all of a sudden there's been a shift. All of a sudden it's like they're trying to say, oh, people are not as interested. There's more people who know about my brand and what I do now than it was 3 years ago. I haven't done anything to suddenly turn the masses off and be like, oh, because if people gonna rock with you, they're gonna rock with you. But it's the growth that we're talking about. They're slowing it down. They're slowing down who sees you. They're slowing down who subscribes to you by unsubscribing people and things of that nature. Burying you. If you put the name in the search engine and it doesn't come up right away, you have to totally spell out something and this and that. I know all the little tricks. I've been observing the entire time. The entire time. It's just that, I don't do this full time. But if I did do it full time and was earning, this was my main source of earning, boy, they would have heard from some real influential people. Yeah. But everything is documented though. Everything is documented. And I do have some influential people as associates that can assist me, but I am just buying my time. Yeah. Absolutely, Shower. It will be returned. You know, I'm not out here with, and see, Shower is one of my number one people that show that support. She's always here, always helping me and everything. But I can ask you guys to ask her to answer this question. Shower, do I sit up and talk about other channels? That's a question I'm posing to you. Do I sit up and talk about other channels and what somebody else is doing? See? There you have it. There you have it. Champion Heart. There you have it. I'm too busy trying to bring you guys the quality stuff. If I were doing that, I wouldn't have the time to do what I've been doing. I've had people try to steal my shows. I had people try to steal my associates that I made shows with and everything. And never no diss videos. Now I just continue to create. I've made so many shows out of my initial just going live as Stormybman. One of my shows that I've done, In the Eye of the Storm, which is also a Gmail for me, In the Eye of the Storm at In the Eye of the Storm 4 at Gmail. Those shows were profiling other content creators. Nobody had ever done anything like that. I bring you on that show to talk about what you do on your platform. Like I was Johnny Carson or something. That alone should have catapulted me to the top in tons of subs, because people say, wow, this guy, is doing this or whatever. But no, you think they would support like that? Nope. It's envious, jealous people. They out there, and never asked anybody for nothing. No money or nothing. Just trying to produce quality content. That's just like I'm sitting here tonight, Shower and chat, Champion Heart. I'm looking at my stats. It says we have 18 concurrent viewers, 24 likes, but almost 90 views. Think about that. And the only reason I share that to you because I want you guys to see the hypocrisy. 80 something views. The average viewing time is 10 minutes. So you're sitting here watching me for 10 minutes on average, but you can't even hit my like button. Think about that for a moment. Isn't that something? Utter foolishness, man. Utter foolishness. But let's get to your boy, huh? This will probably bring more of them out to watch me, chat, huh? Talking about Tank. Tank. Listen, man. They've announced that this fight is either canceled or could be rescheduled for next year sometime. Personally, I don't give a darn, huh? Because Tank ain't fighting who we like to see him fight anyway. And Lamont Roach is focused on O'Shaquie Foster for some reason. Foolishness in the sport of boxing. Now, according to an article in Boxing News 24, promoter Eddie Hearn believes the problem that has put the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight in jeopardy of not happening is the amount of money that PBC is offering to Tank for this December 14th contest in Houston, Texas. Hearn feels that the WBA lightweight champion Tank has grown accustomed to making a lot of money for his fights. He gets a certain amount for his minimum and then makes a lot of the money with the pay-per-view upside. This has worked because the fights Tank has been doing on pay-per-view have brought in good numbers. However, Hearn thinks that Premier Boxing Champions, the management for Tank, knows the fight against Lamont Roach will bomb on pay-per-view and at the box office. Why are they letting Tank select someone like Lamont Roach? Why hasn't he been pushed to face a more challenging fighter? You see? Foolishness here. Snacks B, what's good with you? So when Tank comes to them and asks how much he's getting for the fight, they tell him that it's a lower figure than what he's made in his last fight against Frank Martin. Tank then says he's not going to fight Roach, which makes sense. He and PBC should have known that fans wouldn't be interested in seeing Tank fight Roach because it's been seen as a mismatch and it's not one that people want to see. There are more compelling matchups at 135 that the fans do want to see. I've heard they can't get a deal done with Tank. The venues are a problem. How are the venues a problem all of a sudden? It's very strange, said Eddie Hearn about what he hears about why the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight could be moved off the December 14th date in Houston. Listen, even though they've interviewed Hearn, right? This is the curious thing. They interviewed Hearn, but this is the Turk Al-Sheikh effect on boxing. You cannot keep feeding people baloney, huh? And expecting them to treat it like it's steak. Especially if they've had a taste of steak with a darn good baked potato on the side, huh? But you trying to give them bologna and potato chips. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Listen, man, people don't like how Tank is moving. People don't like how Canelo is moving. And the path is shrinking under their little bitty feet, huh? They got little feet, y'all. They ain't got big feet because they ain't trying to step, huh? They ain't trying to step. They're trying to backpedal. Yeah! These suckers is moonwalking, man. Moonwalking. They ain't trying to face no stiff opposition, and they want to get paid handsomely for it. Are you serious? Huh? Yeah, Snacks B, potato chips and bologna, huh? With some damn red Kool-Aid, huh? That's what they trying to give you. I'm telling you, man, if you don't know better, you ain't gonna do better, huh? I knew this day was coming. I knew it was coming. Listen. I heard Tank was at one of them Baltimore gas stations, huh? I heard he was at one of them Baltimore gas stations, y'all, and he was trying to get them to Amazon Prime to keep that fight date in Houston. And listen, I just heard that this is a video of him asking. But I'll let you guys watch for yourself. Keep your eyes on the screen. I heard they was in Baltimore in one of them little mini gas stations where Tank was in there, and this is what they said.
When you come home, I got beans and bologna.
Yeah, huh? That's what they was trying to do. And listen, Amazon Prime said, "Get your ass out of here." That's right. Yeah, huh? We want to see some thrillers, huh? What are you trying to say, man? You putting on these little baloney events, huh? The only reason people tolerated Frank Martin is because Frank Martin was on the come up. He was coming, right? And people were supporting Frank. People like Frank. But this, no way. Lamont Roach, huh? And he got the nerve to be talking about Oshaki Foster, man. He wasn't saying nothing about Oshaki Foster before Foster fought Kaseykow, right? And so you sign a deal to fight Tank, and then you're talking about Oshaki. You ain't saying nothing about Tank, the fighter you're fighting. Man, if you don't go sit down somewhere, you know, you go sit down somewhere. Shower says, "One more time, Stormy." She says, "One more time, Stormy." Listen, man. You know I always pop up with something, don't I, Shower?
When you come home, I got beans and bologna.
Man. Baltimore. Shout out to Drew Titan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration? Man, I tell you. But see, this is, listen, and I can make fun and have, you know, a little humor with this stuff, but it's really a shame, that these guys are out here like that, running around in skirts with painted fingernails, capri pants, and carrying lime green purses and stuff, but they can't get their butt in the ring over there at a real event like Turkey is putting on, because guess what? If your heart isn't in it, why can't you tell me so? Yeah, these guys. Yeah. See, it takes someone that's old like me to tell you the truth, and then people be mad. They go sit in the corner and just be looking. But I ain't told you no lie. I ain't told you no lie. The fight that Tank was supposed to make was the fight against Shakur Stevenson. This was the fight that could have spared him some stuff after the Frank Martin thing. This was the fight he was supposed to have, but he didn't do it. And you know why? Because neither one of these guys want to face the type of opposition that could possibly make them look bad, that could possibly defeat them, that could possibly ruin their place in the sport, where people think more of them than they actually are. You see, that's the thing right there. Don't pull the curtain back, baby. I don't want them to see that my pee-pee ain't really that big, it's this big, that kind of stuff. This was the fight he was supposed to take. Right here. I tell you, man, the information is always there for you. You know, it's always there for you. There are other fighters that Tank could have fought, but he's not trying to fight these guys. Shakur is just one. The Loma situation could have been another, but whatever's happened with that, whether Loma don't really want to fight him now, or if they realize that the money wasn't going to be right or whatever the case may be, if he is a guy that they're saying is an A-side and he can make things happen, why isn't it not happening? It's not happening because he ain't trying to make it happen. He's not. Kenny Drake, don't nobody care about what your opinion is. This is not ask an opinion. The whole point of it is this was the fight that the man should be facing, and he wouldn't have this problem that he has right now when they're talking about the economics. You see, that's the whole thing. You one of them guys that's been sitting out there in the woods peeping through the blinds and waiting for somebody to say something. Well, I just told you something very intelligently, that the fact that the guy is trying to backtrack and moonwalk through these deals. I said before, Amazon Prime is not going to continue their contract with PBC with them putting on these insufficient bouts when you're watching what Turki Al-Sheikh is doing over there. Even Top Rank, since the Turk involvement with that they've participated in, they have upped the quality of their own matchups on their network, because they recognize that people are realizing that, oh, they've been feeding us oatmeal, huh? That's what they've been doing. Yeah, Snacks B. Neither one of us wants to be the first to take a loss. Shout out to Gladys Knight. Yeah, good stuff. Snacks B. Yeah, Champion Heart. It does suck that this is the era, but you know what? I'm going to tell you. It's passing quickly. It's getting ready to change, man. And these guys, nobody will remember them. Nobody's going to bring their names up. And just like when Tank got in his little, lime green underwear about John Scully saying that he didn't think he was Hall of Fame material at this present point with the resume that he presently have. Yes, that's exactly it. And guess what? He never went for undisputed. Several guys got undisputed or totally unified around him, but he didn't. Loma was unified, Kambosos was unified, Tio was unified, and Devin became undisputed. All guys that Tank could have faced, and he didn't. Think about that for a moment. And these guys out here defending the guy's honor and being mad about it. Get mad at him. Get mad at him. Hey, Kenny Davis, let's see how much money he has 5 years after he retires. Let's see that. Then you can come back and talk. Huh? When 5 years after he's done fighting. 5 years. Yeah, because you see, it's not how much you make, it's what you do with what you make, huh? And buying nail polish and Ferraris and thoughts and all of that, that's not gonna get it for you, bruh. It's not gonna get it for you. Look at what Devin has done with his money and how he has. I bet you Devin is more well off than Tank is economically. Kenny Davis. I bet you that. I bet you that. Let me finish. Let me finish making you mad, huh? Let me finish making you mad, huh? This little image right here. If these guys right here could be looked at in the proper way, more of these other fighters would be coming across their promotional company. First of all, there's independence here. There's strength in independence, first and foremost. Secondly, there's intelligence with the manner of being able to negotiate deals. Okay? To not just get a bag, but to get percentages and access to other parts that fighters don't normally learn about. Bud Crawford, at this late stage of his career, has just begun to learn about certain access that prior to the Spence fight, he wasn't able to have access to. But when he got his independence, he began to find some things out and be able to make a stronger deal and bid for himself. That's important for someone who wants to have a future beyond putting their life on the line. Kenny Drake, I don't mind you saying what you're saying, but I got one question for you. This is directly to you. It is no insult or anything. You're free to write in the chat how you think and feel. That's your opinion. But I got to ask you this. Did you hit my like button when you came in? And I would like an answer to that. And don't lie. If you didn't, say no. If you did, say yeah. Boxing fans, time for what's good with you, boxing fan, times 4. I'll get to your question in just a second. What are you saying, Kenny Drake? I have to agree with you for you to hit my like button? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that it? Anyway, back to my man, boxing fan times 4. The question that you ask. Could Ringaro's awkward style cause some trouble? Ringaroo doesn't have the awkward style. Jack Catterall is the one that has the awkward style. Jack Catterall's style, and maybe I shouldn't say awkward. he has a throwback style. Jack fights like the guys from the 40s and the 50s, huh? Guys who would use their shoulders and be able to use a crab-like defense and be able to set up counters by sliding left and right, in and out. Very old style, but effective against guys who are not technically proficient, guys who have loops in their offensive and defensive game, and guys who are not that courageous I shouldn't say courageous, guys who are not that intelligent as far as figuring things out. Regis should have some problems against Jack. He punches hard enough that he could hurt Jack, but early in the fight, Jack punches hard enough to hurt him as well. It's just that I don't think that Jack carries that power late in fights, but he hits hard enough, like Floyd did, to keep the respect there. And that's all you need to do, is to be able to make people respect you. And don't forget that Josh Taylor was also a southpaw, and he handles Josh Taylor very well in their rematch. In the first fight, he beat him, I thought, hands down. Dropped him and everything. But in the rematch, he really took those early rounds away from Taylor. And I expect to see more of that against Regis. Yeah, Shower Beige Smurf. Yeah. So I think that that's going to be, it's going to be a quality fight. Definitely a quality fight. Beige Smurf. Heck of a name, huh? I'm trying to look something up real quick. Now, what's going to be interesting is how is Regis going to handle Catterall's southpaw stance? Because when he fought Josh Taylor himself, he didn't do very well against Josh Taylor. I think that Catterall is going to be, he's going to be definitely in this fight. He's going to be in this fight. And Regis doesn't look to score points, man. He looks to try to land big shots. And guys like Catterall can run you into something with his style, because he's very heady. He's intelligent as a fighter. Like I said, his style is like a throwback. He reminds me of guys from the 50s. My allergies have really kicked in. I apologize for coughing into my mic. I'm sorry. Yeah, but this, you know what? This fight could possibly be
a lot better than people may think going in. That's why I suggest you check it out. Check the fight out. Yeah, Snacks B. Yeah. That's when it acts up for me. My allergies kick up when the weather is going to change from one state to another, like one condition to another. And that's where I am right now presently. So I'm not sick. I don't have a cold. I just got allergies. And it's like, it sucks. Because once the weather, be what it's going to be for a duration, I'll be fine. Yeah. So, but yeah, I do see now when it comes to jabbing, I think that Catterall has the better jab. He's more focused with his jab and more purposeful, dutiful with his jab. Regis kind of like reaches to try to fill the range, find the range of you, and then he wants to drop his big shots in. Now I know he does this little move, but he's got to be careful with that with a fighter like Catterall, because Catterall is good with timing and he throws a really good uppercut on the inside. Regis had issues against what was that guy's name? Zarilla? Danielito Zarilla, where he got dropped by Zarilla early in that fight or whatever. And Zarilla was nowhere near the fighter that Catterall is, but he presented a certain kind of issue for Regis when they faced each other. But he's an orthodox fighter. And there's something about that short reach that Regis has too, man. That's just like, you know what? That dude has arms like an alligator, man. It's like they're not that long. And Catterall's reach is a couple of inches longer. So, and Regis is 35 now too, y'all. Let's start, let's not overlook that. 35, man. And he's Catterall is 4 years younger. And Catterall is really the uncrowned champion. He beat Josh Taylor back in February of 2022. That split decision that they gave to Taylor, that was a robbery. When we talk about robberies in the sport of boxing, he knocked Taylor down.
Kate Taylor was deducted a point for low blows, and he was fighting very dirty, and Jack was taking it to him. He was actually outboxing him, and they gave that man that decision. I was like, man, no way, no way, no way. Snacks B says something about Regis remind me of Conor Ben for some reason. Well, they're both limited fighters. I know that. They've had the opportunity to be near the top of the division in their respective divisions, but not a lot of substance there for either guy. Not a lot of substance. But that's okay, because fighters are defined by what they go through, their achievements, if there are setbacks, how they respond to the setbacks, and that makes a total picture. For some fighters who have never been placed in a position where we could see them come back or overcome or something like that, then it's really less that you have to draw on, and you have to look at them with a more critical eye. But people of today assess that as hating. Well, no. It's easy to roll with the winner, but what about the person who had to come back? I like to use Daniel Dubois as an example of that, because Daniel has had some setbacks, but he has come through with flying colors and has achieved like monumental gains because of his mindset, the people around him, and his stick-to-itiveness. You know, that is important. We need more of that in the sport of boxing from some of these other fighters, and we don't get enough of that from them. Some of the most popular guys have yet to display any of that. Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo. Teofimo has had some setbacks, and he's also had some gifts, because there's a couple of matches that he was given decisions that he just did not win. And that's that power of top-ranked boxing. He's fighting for those guys, and he doesn't even appreciate what they've done for him. Tank Davis falls into that category.
There's a number of guys. Now look at a guy like O'Shaquie Foster. I was talking about Lamont Roach calling him out. O'Shaquie has got it out of the mud, man, which is why I don't understand why they robbed him like they did in that decision over Consequao when he clearly beat that man. But it was almost like they didn't want another boxer in that division dominating, because he beat that guy in Mexico, and he won a couple of other fights that were like really close, tough fought, hard earned victories. And then against Consequao, who couldn't lay a glove on him, they gave Consequao the decision. I was like, are you kidding me? That is just filthy what they did. That's the kind of stuff that'll make you not like boxing at all when you see that. But I got a feeling, boy, he gonna tune Consequao up in this rematch. So Consequao better be prepared to go to war, and he better be prepared to stay off the floor, because O'Shaquie can put him out of there. O'Shaquie can knock you out. He is not just some little thin boxer that's out there rat-a-tat, pat-tat. No. When he wants to, keep your eyes on that, man. Keep your eyes on that. No, boxing fans times 4. It's not out of character for him. He has shown in different fights different ways to go about winning. But in his fight against Consequao, the first go round, he was boxing him beautifully. It was no reason to do anything of a risque nature because he was winning the fight. And for what they did, the decision that the judges handed in, that was more of I think that was a protest against him personally being the boxer that he is than it was of them judging how the fight was going. Because I remarked in my post-fight comments, I said, I hadn't seen a guy fight like that since Pretty Boy Floyd, where he was blocking all of Consequao's punches with his arms and his gloves and countering and stepping around. It was a beautiful display. I gave him all the credit for what he was doing. The judges gave him absolutely none. He looked better than Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur fought Consequao. It didn't look. Shakur was more boring against Consequao because when Andre Ward and Tim Bradley was talking about that, they was on his case about how boring he looked against Consequao, but not O'Shaquie. O'Shaquie was handing him the business, bro. Handing him the business.
I think we're going to take a moment out and hear from my man, the Focus Ball, huh? Yeah.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a Focus Ball. When you train with the Focus Ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit. Making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the Focus Ball now.
get you some of that Stormybman merchandise, man. We got 2 stores going. We got the Streamlabs merchandise, and then we also have the A Weapons merchandise. And if you go over to the A Weapons site, you just put Stormy, all caps, in the search engine, and you can pull up some of that new merch that we got going on over there. So we're coming to the end of another Friday night chop session. I think it was a very good show, very entertaining. We had a chance to laugh a little bit and speak some serious notes on the sport of boxing and give a little bit of insight onto what to expect from tomorrow afternoon's match between Regis and Jack. But all in all, I feel very strong show. Thank you so much, everybody that participated. We didn't have much going on as far as on the donation tip, but I'll tell you something. I really am glad that you guys that rock with me for the entire evening. Thank you so much. You know who you are. Much love for the support. I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace to everybody. Enjoy those fights this weekend, and we'll catch you on the next one.